So I recently attended COE in the Netherlands, OSU's biggest convention, and I just got back from it since I stayed in Europe a week after the convention ended to explore the different countries. And now I feel like just talking about the event. So let's go from the beginning. It started 2 years ago when I started to be more engaged in the OSU community. I always wanted to go to COE because it felt like, these are my people since I would play the game every day at the time. But 2 years gives a lot of time for a person to change, and I saw myself as a different person to what I was. Now at present day, I stopped playing OSU, stopped making OSU content, and grew apart within the community and the friends I made. But the urge of wanting to go to COE did not disappear. Maybe it was just an excuse to visit Europe for the first time. To break it down, the event lasted 7 days, which confused me initially because what's there to do the whole time? Are you just supposed to play OSU for the entire week or something? So I decided to only stay for 3 days due to this logic, but I later on understood why people would stay for the entire event. The first obstacle for me was getting to the Netherlands, and since I was from Australia, it was not cheap or short. I would have to travel 11 hours, and I'm not even halfway through the trip since I'll have to do a 6-hour layover in Shanghai and then travel another 11 hours to Amsterdam. Although the layover actually gave me time to finish writing a video script, so I guess expect another video. But the surprising thing is that I saw Emmerich and his friend Rairiku lining up to board the same flight as me. That was really fucking surreal to see them, and they probably had the same feeling as well, randomly getting recognized at the airport. Although it was genuinely nice talking to them, since I know I wouldn't get that opportunity at the convention, since they'll just get busy getting jumped by everyone at the venue for photos and signatures. And now fast forward to COE, the venue was held at like this place. I don't know how to say it, especially with that apostrophe S at the front. We'll just call it Den Bosch, but it is some small ass city in the south of Amsterdam, 15 minutes away from the train station, and it has expensive accommodation around the place, which made me stay in another city to cut down the costs. Like, they really couldn't choose a more inconvenient place. When entering the venue for the first time, it was really underwhelming due to how small it was. There was the arcade section with like Sound Vortex, Groove Coaster, Tuna Film, but no my, like what the hell? They have the main stage where they like host tournaments and stuff, and then the bring your own computer section where most people would play anything else but OSU. Like, I swear I saw more Genshin Impact or Uma Musume more than OSU. There was also another room with another bring your own computer section, and then the Wuchin area with their own setup. Along with that, there was also the caves, a private space where you can just chill, but it's 3,000 euro for that space. Like, you would know it's probably for the famous players and content creators like Emmerich or BTMC, so they don't get jumped by everyone in the venue for photos. There wasn't a lot to do in the event except to meet up with people, which I did, but only a small handful since I don't really have a lot of connections in the community anymore. I also met some new people, which is cool, and then I walked back to the train station with Pepper Crab, another OSU content creator. We both couldn't help but to feel underwhelmed by events so far. We didn't do that much, and we spent a lot of time and money to get here since we both aren't from Europe. I was just expecting more to get my money's worth since it only took me a couple minutes to explore the entire venue. On the second day, I came in early and the venue was pretty dead, so I just played Sound Vortex for an hour until I just got bored and walked around the convention. I ended up sitting at a table with the Dutch Catch the Beat community, which sounds random, but it was interesting hearing stories from such a forgotten game mode. I mean, I did play catch for a bit. It was fun, but I was surprised that one of the people I was sitting next to in that table was one of my favorite Catch the Beat mappers. Like, I was not expecting that. Like, that was pretty mind-blowing. I feel like a lot of the convention was like that. Like, you know someone online, and now you get to meet and interact with them, especially with top players or content creators you've been watching for years. It all feels surreal. I got a photos with a bunch of them, but the main person I wanted to meet was of course BTMC, the face of the OSU community. And conveniently, he was streaming in the middle of the venue with John Paula at the time. So I decided that I want to snipe their streams with my shitty job interview cosplay that I made last minute.
Congrats. What the fuck?
That guy away from us! Get away from me!
Scary, man.
Oh god, streaming no real job.
You need to censor.
Apply this.
We might have a problem, JP.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of this guy.
I would want the hidden one,
You want the secret slider, the ultra rare slider.
It's only like the penis spot.
True.
Yes,
Oh.
it's the penis spot.
No way! You got the secret slider!
I called it.
What? Hey, congratulations. All right, who's next?
W job application.
Okay, they loved the cosplay, and it was a funny moment on stream, but as for me, it was really surreal to interact with BTMC. I always been a big fan of his Osu content and personality for years. I always looked up to him since I was also a content creator, and seeing him grow and succeed makes me want to hopefully follow his footsteps. His passion for the game is infectious, and you can only respect that. Eventually, he stopped streaming, and I saw this as a perfect time to get a photo and signature with him. Initially, meeting him was pretty scuffed, like the pen I gave him to sign my tablet barely worked, and I looked so cooked in the photo I took with him. But then I introduced myself to him, and ironically, it was just like meeting an excited fan. But instead of me being the fan, it was actually him. He was like, "Oh my god, you're Saow? The GOAT of Osu content?" Like, I appreciated the compliment, but like, I don't know what to say about it because I don't make Osu content anymore. But it was still a big highlight of the day for me, honestly. I guess still being the GOAT of Osu content showed how much of an impact my videos had in the community at the time. Like, I knew when I met Fishy Fat, he said the same thing as well. I spoke for BTMC for a bit, and then left to meet up with the pro rhythm gamer who doesn't sleep to get dinner with him outside the venue. And because of that, I got to sightsee the city for like a tiny bit, and it was genuinely the most beautiful city I ever seen. Like, damn, I actually just got baited to go into an Osu event instead of exploring this area. I guess maybe Den Bosch isn't so bad after all. I went back to COE and locked in getting my tablet signed, which ended up being filled up with signatures from people I met, as well as any well-known community figures. After that, I watched the game show of Fishy Fat and left for the night. I left day 2 feeling pretty satisfied. I met most of the people I wanted to see and overall had fun interacting with everyone around the convention. It's a bit ironic though, since Osu isn't a game made for socializing, but you're kind of forced to talk to people when you're in an event, which is usually hard for Osu players, but it can be a lot of fun. Day 3 was the last day for me, and I used it as a way to tie up any loose ends. I wanted signatures from more top players like Rectagon or a Fancy Lad for example, or even some of the 5-digit tourney players I knew, as well as more content creators like Sparza or Napi. Although I did see Napi at his desk screaming Osu like pretty much the entire time, I just didn't want to interfere. Although I don't really get it. Like, you come to another country just to play Osu or other video games the whole time? Like, you could just do that at home. There's also some other people I wanted to meet, like Osu Drama Days. I guess I just didn't want to be racist and go up to every single black guy and ask if it was him. I also forgot to meet up with Piglin. That was my bad. As day 3 started, I was on the train to the venue and I got a message from Reichelt, a 5-digit tourney player I met on the first day. He randomly invited me to go bouldering and I said yes without hesitation. So instead of going to COE, I went to the climbing gym nearby with a friend group of 5-digit tourney players, which led to eating lunch at their Airbnb. I mean, that wasn't supposed to happen because we saw a place that was selling cheap chicken, but turns out it wasn't heated, so we had to go back to Airbnb to heat it up ourselves, which probably explained why it was so cheap in the first place. I got so sidetracked throughout the entire morning and afternoon that I came back to the convention with only 1 hour remaining and did nothing that I wanted to achieve. But that was okay, because I realized that the random stuff that happens throughout the week is the beauty with these smaller conventions like COE, since the focus of the event becomes the people that attend it. In reality, the con itself doesn't have a lot to do. If you don't have your own computer there, then you're left wandering around, maybe playing at the arcade or watching any events on the main stage. So you would have to socialize and go on these side quests outside the venue. That's when I realized people don't go to COE for COE or Osu. They go to meet up with other people in the community, making a gathering for different friend groups to annually see each other. But because of that, it doesn't make an event for everyone. I had some connections being a former Osu content creator and a somewhat recognizable player when I used to play in 5-digit tournaments 2 years ago. So I didn't struggle too much when it came to introducing myself and conversing with other people, but it would be a lot harder if you're just some random Osu NPC or just don't like talking to people. You can meet people, yes, but it's gonna be a bit of a challenge since there's already so many established friend groups. A lot of the enjoyment actually came outside of con, and there's a reason why a lot of photos shared on Twitter are taken outside of the event and shows a type of human connection. The first 2 days I used to meet a bunch of people at the event, and then I could have used the rest of the week to spend more times with those people. Like, most interactions involved an introduction and some small talk, but there were definitely potential opportunities to talk more or go out bordering and have lunch or dinner with them. That's why I wish I stayed longer, because I wasn't expecting how I was able to get along with a bunch of people easily, as well as people still remembering who I was. I thought, considering how inactive I was in the community, people would have forgotten about me, but I was proven wrong. Some people could recognize my voice, and others were pleasantly surprised when I told them that I'm Saow, as we can recall from the BTMC interaction. With me drifting away from Osu due to my inactivity, I initially saw COE as a farewell to his community, but it actually ended up making me miss Osu. When starting out with the game, it was often pretty lonely since no one around me played the game, so I had no one to talk to. I mean, there is this one particular video that goes a bit in depth about it. But now I see myself across the world talking to a diverse community. I kind of forgot how much I missed talking about Osu or how much I still knew about the game. I assume I would be out of touch, but I could understand conversations when people would talk about the game. Like, I remember I was recalling all the stupid drama this game had with someone else, like the stuff with Captain Noir being a retard, for example. Like, that's something you can only talk about with an Osu player. You could not talk about that obscure event to anyone else. For most of the time playing Osu, I struggled to express anything that was Osu related, even in person, and I'm grateful for COE letting me have that outlet for it, even for a little bit. The thing is that Osu was an obsession I had during my young adult years, and it was nice being able to converse with people that share that same obsession. It doesn't even need to be talking about Osu, because I guess there's some type of vibe or aura that Osu players have that makes it easier for me to connect with them. Also, it was refreshing talking to these players as well, because I'm used to talking about another rhythm game called My, and holy shit, I'm genuinely sick of talking about the same shit over and over again with that game. All the conversation is just like, oh, this chart's free, or oh, this chart bad because I suck at it. Okay, maybe I just need a break with My, which means I'll probably start playing Osu again. I'm gonna finally get my first 300 PP and return to making Osu content. Look forward to top 10 hottest Osu backgrounds part 2. Okay, I can't promise any of that, but I was definitely in the mood to play Osu again after COE. Well, at the end, I think this trip backfired. Like, I thought I was free from playing this accursed game, but I ended up relapsing because of COE. Like, that wasn't supposed to happen. I was thinking 7 days might have been too long, but 5 days sounds reasonable for next time if I wanted to go again, which is something I'll definitely consider for next year. I had so much fun going to COE and around Europe that I don't want it to be a goodbye, but more like a see you again next time, whenever it will be.